The story begins with a girl named Momo. She is very kind and intelligent, a university student in the accounting department. Her entire life revolves around studying and working. We learn that Momo is in her final year at university, and she is looking for a job to help her family with daily expenses. Now we move to the same university and meet a young man named Wei. He is a physics student, known among students for being extremely smart and very serious. He does not care about romantic relationships, because his studies and scientific research mean more to him than anything else. This is how we get to know the two main characters of our story. On a bright new day, Momo wakes up to her alarm and gets ready for a job interview. We see a boy named Phoebe, Momo's closest friend, who is always by her side. They have been friends since childhood. And later, we will learn something very important about their relationship. Phoebe takes Momo to her interview. On the way, they get into a small accident with Wei. After everyone goes their separate ways, they discover that Momo's bag has been switched with Wei's. Momo goes into the interview, but unfortunately, she fails because all her belongings are missing. Meanwhile, Wei is unable to take his exam because his supplies are gone. He has no paper or pen. After some time, they meet at a cafe to exchange their bags. Each of them checks their belongings, and this becomes their first real meeting after the accident. The next day, Momo goes to a phone shop to fix her broken screen. She is shocked to find Wei there. When he sees her, he says, "Come, I'll fix your phone." We learn that Wei usually repairs his own phone. Later, Momo receives a call about a new job interview and decides to go. Before she reaches the place, a masked person wearing a helmet steals her bag and runs away. Momo tries to pull it back, but she fails and injures her hand. She calls her friend Phoebe, but Wei answers because they live in the same dorm. Wei quickly goes to her, checks on her, and takes her to the hospital to make sure her hand is okay. After that, Momo realizes that Phoebe is not paying attention to her and is ignoring her. She feels very hurt and starts crying. We then discover that Momo has had feelings for Phoebe since their school days. She loved him and tried many times to express her feelings, but he was never interested and always ignored her. Every time she tried, she failed. After a few days, Momo learns that Wei missed his exam because of her and ended up failing. She tries to fix the situation by meeting his professor and convincing him to let Wei retake the exam. She succeeds, and Wei is given another chance. Later, Momo, Phoebe, and Wei start spending time together. Wei begins to develop feelings for Momo. While working at a restaurant, Wei notices that Momo and Phoebe's relationship is very unhealthy. Phoebe does not care about her feelings and never treats her well. Now the story goes back 5 years to explain what happened between them. We learn that Momo and Phoebe were once very close friends. Phoebe decided to date Momo after graduation. However, his female fans became upset and started crying when he entered a relationship with her. Because of that, Phoebe denied their relationship so that the girls would continue to admire him. From this, we understand that Phoebe actually loves Momo, but he suppresses and ignores his feelings so that he can stay popular with other girls. After some time, Momo goes to another job interview. This time, she succeeds and gets a job related to her field of study. Unfortunately, the workplace is far from her dorm. Her mother calls her and tells her that her friend has an apartment near Momo's workplace and suggests that she live there instead of traveling every day. Momo agrees and moves into the apartment. On the second night, while she is watching a horror movie, someone suddenly enters the apartment. That person is Wei. Momo is extremely shocked and asks him, "How did you get into the apartment?" Then she calls her mother and finds out that Wei is the son of her mother's friend. Momo tells her mother, "You should have told me that your friend has a son." Her mother replies, "He is successful and smart, and he doesn't care about casual relationships. You should try to get closer to him so that in time you can be in a relationship." At the same time, Wei calls his mother and says, "Mom, you should have told me that there was a girl in the apartment. I walked in without knowing." His mother answers, "My son, this is a chance for you to get to know someone who could become your life partner." Later, Wei knocks on Momo's bedroom door because the room is actually his, and he cannot sleep anywhere else. He is used to sleeping in his own room, but when he enters, he finds Momo unconscious. He is shocked and quickly takes her to the hospital. We then learn that Momo was poisoned because she ate expired food. Phoebe arrives at the hospital to check on her after he hears the news from Wei. He asks Wei, "How did you bring her to the hospital?" Momo answers instead and says, "He found me in the street unconscious and brought me here." We realize that Momo is trying to hide the apartment situation from Phoebe because she knows he would never accept it. Later, Phoebe and Wei take Momo back to the university dorm. There, Phoebe meets Momo's friend, whose name is Anshan, and talks to her. He finds out that Momo is living in an apartment outside the dorm. Because of this, Phoebe decides to take a taxi and follow Momo to find out where she is going and why she is hiding this from him. He is shocked when he sees Momo and Wei entering the same apartment. He becomes very upset and angry because this is a sensitive issue for him. At that time, Momo had gone to the apartment to collect her belongings because she wanted to return to the dorm after all the difficulties she had faced. Suddenly, Phoebe enters the apartment and starts speaking to Momo in a hurtful way. She responds and says, "We are not in a relationship. You have no right to interfere in my life or control me. I have the right to decide how I live and where I belong." When Phoebe hears this, he leaves the apartment immediately, filled with anger and sadness. Momo becomes very upset and keeps crying over him. The very next day, Momo's mother comes to visit the apartment. She meets Wei and tells them, "I came today because I want to cook for you with my own hands so you can eat better food than takeout." We see Momo's mother looking at Wei with loving eyes, and she decides to stay the night. But Momo refuses and says, "Mom, please, let's stay in a hotel. We don't want to burden Wei." However, Wei replies, "On the contrary, I don't mind at all. I'm happy to live with you." We learn that Wei is truly happy because the apartment now feels alive. Before, he used to live alone and always felt bored and trapped in a dull routine. Later, Momo gets the opportunity she has been waiting for a very long time, a job at a famous advertising company in China. She immediately agrees and tells the manager that she is happy to work with such a company. The next day, Momo's mother meets Phoebe, who greets her and tries to remind her who he is, but she pretends not to recognize him. Later, she sits with her daughter and says, "My daughter, choose wisely. Choose the one who truly loves you. This is your life, and you decide how it will go. I won't force you to marry anyone, but I'm worried about you." She continues, "The person you love doesn't know what he wants. One day he loves you, and the next day he doesn't. He is moody and unstable. You won't be happy with someone like that." She adds, "I won't stay here. I'm going back home tomorrow morning." The next day, Momo's mother makes her daughter sign a contract that requires her to stay in the apartment for a full year. After her mother returns home, Momo decides to go back to the university dorm. When Wei comes home at night, he finds the apartment empty. He becomes sad and angry and feels lonely again, returning to the boring routine he had before Momo moved in. After several weeks, Wei goes to the girls' dorm to meet Momo. When she sees him, she says, "What do you think about coming with me to my job interview?" He agrees. The next day, Wei tries to convince Momo to return and live with him in the apartment. He even invites her friend. Wang Shan and Phoebe use the excuse that Momo's mother would come back to live with them in the apartment. But the next day, everything ended when Momo saw Phoebe getting close to her friend Wang Shan. She realized that her mother's return was only an excuse, a plan to make her move back in with Wei. Told her, "Your mother paid the rent for a year." Wei was surprised. "But I thought you were going to return to the apartment," she said. "I am," Wei replied. "I just need to get my things together, and then I'll be back." Wei was relieved. "Thank you for being so understanding," she said. "I'm glad we could work this out," Wei replied. "I'm glad we could work this out," told her. "Your mother paid the rent for a whole year. You can't live in the university dorm anymore because it's far from your workplace, so you have no choice but to live here." After some time, Phoebe asked Momo to meet him. When they met, he kept apologizing and said, "Please forgive me. I really love you and I want to be with you." But Momo rejected him and said, "I don't have any feelings for you anymore. Everything between us ended because of what you did when you got close to my friend Wang Shan." The next day, Wei called Momo and invited her to lunch. Momo was very nervous and scared to meet his mother, but she found out that Wei's mother was very kind and loving toward her. Days passed, and Momo's birthday arrived. Their friends came to the apartment and celebrated with her. At that time, we realized that Wei had truly fallen in love with Momo. He understood that what he felt was not just admiration, but deep love. Unfortunately, he didn't know how to express his feelings, so he asked his professor for advice. The professor told him, Write her a letter and express your love. Instead, Wei wrote a physics equation and gave it to Momo. Momo said, "Are you making fun of me? What does this even mean?" She didn't understand it, because it was an equation about shared particles. In fact, it symbolized that he wanted to share his life with her. As time passed, Phoebe started dating Wang Shan. When Wei found out, he was very happy because Phoebe was finally out of the picture. Phoebe had always been an unwanted rival. Wei felt that this was the right time to confess his true feelings to Momo. Now we are introduced to an important character, Wei's colleague, who had a crush on him and was always trying to get close to him and help him with research and reports. After several days, Wei decided to confess his true feelings to Momo after everything they had been through. When his colleague overheard Wei and his professor talking about his love life, she was shocked and upset when she learned that he was in a relationship with Momo. That night, Wei went home and prepared a romantic dinner and a nice atmosphere. But after they finished eating, the mood was ruined when Momo received a call from her friend, who was complaining about her boyfriend. The next day, Momo went to work and met the celebrity who would appear in their advertisement. She asked Wei to bring an envelope. Later, we learned that it contained photos of the celebrity, whom Momo admired. He signed the pictures for her and chatted with her. Wei was filled with jealousy and dislike toward the celebrity. The next day, the celebrity and his manager met Momo, pretending to thank her for her cooperation. In reality, the celebrity had a crush on her and was trying to get close to her. But when he saw her with Wei, he realized that she was in a relationship, so he decided to step back and leave them happy together. After some time, summer vacation arrived, and everyone had to travel back to their families. Neither of them wanted to be apart, but they had no choice. When summer ended, they returned and began living together in the same apartment again. Later, their families came to visit and started talking about marriage. They told them, "You love each other and you suit each other, so it's time to get married." But Wei replied, "Please, we are not children. We know when to make the right decision at the right time. We don't allow anyone to interfere in our private lives." A few days later, graduation day arrived, along with photo sessions. Momo was waiting for Wei, believing he had prepared a surprise for her. But when she went to look for him, she found him taking photos with his professor and classmates. She became very upset because he was paying attention to them and not to her on such an important day. In the end, they made up, and Momo decided to forgive him. Later, Wei passed the exam that qualified him for a scholarship in Germany. Momo was very sad when she found out, because he would be far away from her. But she told him, "I don't want to stand in the way of your future. Go and build your future. I'll stay here and wait for you." And in this way, the next day, they went and completed the travel procedures, and we see their farewell at the airport, which was full of sadness and tears. As for Momo, she resigned from her job because her manager had stolen her work and her friend's work. She decided to travel to Germany to meet Wei. When she arrived in Germany, Wei was shocked to see her, because he had been planning to return to China for her so that he could see her and live with her. He had even decided to give up his future just to stay by her side. So he was surprised when he found out that she had come to him instead. Then Wei said to Momo, "Come, I want to take you somewhere." He took her to a church where the priest was present. He surprised her by asking her to marry him. She agreed, and the priest declared them husband and wife. The next day, Momo received news that the celebrity she had worked with in the advertisement had published information about her resignation and decided to expose the manager. She was very happy because she finally got her rights back. Meanwhile, Phoebe decided to confess his feelings to Wang Shan. This was the first time he truly admitted his real feelings toward her. Later, we learned that Momo and Wei returned to China, officially registered their marriage, and had a wedding photo session. After 1 year, we see them still living in the same apartment. But this time, they are not alone. Their child is with them. In the end, Momo and Wei fought for their love and did not allow anyone to interfere, so they were able to build a proper future together. And this is the end of the series.